Hey y'all, it's Ali from Little Hill Homestead. Do you know what day it is? Do you know? Can I tell you? Can I tell you? I'm going to show you guys today how to preserve winter squash long term. This is not a canning method either. This is something super duper easy. As long as you have a cool and dark place, you can do this. So, I ran up to Aldi, our local Aldi, and your local Aldi, this week have all of their winter squash for 89 cents a pound. That's a fantastic deal. They're usually $1.24 to $1.50, anywhere in that range per pound. So I got 3 acorn squash. They're pretty big guys. 2 butternut squash that are pretty big, and 1 spaghetti squash. We don't do a lot of spaghetti squash. We do an Alfredo with it that I think is pretty good, but we don't use it a ton. This year I did not have a ton of space. This is my canning crap closet. I didn't have a ton of space in it this year. And we don't use just a ton of winter squash, but when I do get it on sale, I buy enough for it to last most of that year. So it cost me $8.54 to stockpile my squash for the year. Go to Aldi, you guys. I'm not kidding. I know they're not organic, and if you grow your own, this trick will work for your homegrown stuff too. So the biggest thing you need to look for is anything, you don't want ones that have like dings, nicks, soft spots. You need to pick each one up, give it a squeeze, make sure that they're in good condition. I leave the stickers on because there's a chance that if you peel it off, it might peel some of your outside of your squash, and so I just leave them on. So in my canning closet, we have reinforced the shelves with wood. You can kind of see right there. But these are great because they have airflow that comes from the bottom, the sides, all around. Take your squash and stick it on the shelf, you guys. How easy is that? I mean, just literally, that's it. Stick it on the shelf. If you have a closet, you can put a piece of cardboard underneath. That kind of gives it a little extra airflow. You can put them on a rack, like a cookie rack, if you want some airflow on them. I'll probably go get a couple more squash, to be honest, but our Aldi, this one local to us, this was like kind of all they had. Usually I will line this whole shelf with butternut because that's our favorite, and acorn. But you guys, make sure they're not touching. Everybody's in its little happy place on the shelf. That's it, you guys. So there's our squash for the year, $8.54. And does this work? You guys, let me tell you. Okay, so I tested this out 2 years ago because I wanted to see, and we had homegrown squash at that point, a few, just enough. And we made it for 13 months. They made it for 13 months. So I tried it again last year just to make sure that it wasn't a fluke with my homegrown stuff. Last year I bought it at Aldi when I got it on the 89-cent deal again, and we made it 11 months. It would have lasted longer, but we ate it all. So there you go. This is my super duper easy, cheap, frugal way of stockpiling squash. Ignore my mess. Everybody has a mess, right? You have a messy closet somewhere in your house. Everybody does. But if you're near an Aldi, if you can get it on Azure Standard right now, has butternut squash. You can get 20 pounds for like 20 something bucks, or 20 bucks, I think, actually. Really good deal for theirs. I might grab those too. I can't decide. But this is the time right now that you want to stockpile your winter squash to last you the year, because right now it's in season and it's a great price. So that's how I store. This is such a messy closet, you guys. It's kind of embarrassing, but it just is what it is. Anyways, that's how we store our winter squash long term. So you just want to make sure nobody's touching, everybody has their little space, nobody's going to get a fight in the back seat. And then what I do is every couple weeks, just go give them a turn, squeeze them, make sure that if there's anybody that's getting soft, use them. Get them out of that closet and use them up in your food. And see how long they last. It's kind of amazing. You do not need a root cellar if you figure out simple little frugal tricks like this. So go get yourself some winter squash. Go get your squash this time of season. And you will thank me when it's like January, February, March, when you're like, dude, I just want some squash, and it's overly priced at the market, and you're like, nah, I got it. We're good. Anyways, that is one of the ways that we long-term store. You guys, my canning rack. This is my canning rack. It's a mess. I need to do some major organizing. And then now that all of our kids have moved out, I think I'm going to convince Shawn to build another one that does that wall, because we're just maxed out on space. And I have about 30 pounds of fruit coming in that we're going to be canning. It's going to be fun. Anyways, go buy your squash. Thanks for watching, guys.